Clive's perfect pajamas adventure, a cozy 10-minute bedtime story. Once upon a time, in a cheerful town nestled among beautiful mountains, lived the most elegant cat in the world. His name was Clive. He was a short-haired cat with burnt orange, tangerine, and maple brown fur, a snowy white bib on his chest, white socks on his paws, and a white tip on his tail. Clive lived on the top floor of the grand wooden townhouse and was famous for his perfect manners and magnificent wardrobe. Every day he wore smart green tweed trousers and jackets. On special nights, he wore a black tailcoat with an emerald bow tie or a fancy plum silk paisley jacket. But his most treasured outfit of all was his blue silk pajamas, the ones that gave him the sweetest, deepest sleep. One sunny morning, Clive stretched, yawned, and was dreaming of breakfast when, rip! His pajamas tore right down the side. "Oh no!" he mewed, embarrassed. His fluffy white assistant, Mr. Tibbles, came running in his little orange waistcoat. "No spare pair, sir?" asked Mr. Tibbles. Clive shook his head. "These are no ordinary pajamas. They must be made from the silk of the sleepiest silkworm, buttons from the Baron of Dreams, and thread from the Temple of Peace, and perfectly tailored for me." Then a wonderful idea sparkled in Clive's eyes. "We shall fetch the pieces ourselves. It will be a splendid little adventure." Soon the two cats were dressed in travelling clothes. Clive in beige trousers and jacket, Mr. Tibbles in a smart hunting jacket, and trotting down the cobblestone streets. They passed the grocer, the hat shop, and the butcher, pausing only to sniff the fresh sausage rolls, then hopped onto the magnificent red and gold tram. The tram climbed the steep great hill, where the most interesting things could be found. At the very top stood the round red brick observatory with its gleaming brass telescope. The cats climbed the ivy-covered wall, tapped a secret rhythm on a tiny window, and slipped inside. There, on a golden throne, sat the Baron of Dreams, an old, skinny, grey cat. Clive offered him a tin of the finest sardines. While they enjoyed the treat and shared town gossip, the Baron smiled and gave Clive a small bag of his very best dream buttons, guaranteed to bring only happy, gentle dreams. "Thank you, old friend," said Clive. Next, the cats carefully climbed onto the observatory dome. The mountains stretched out forever, snow-capped and shining. Far below, Clive spotted the emerald forest where the sleepiest silkworm lived. He pulled out a small parachute. "Hold tight, Mr. Tibbles." They linked tails, ran, and leapt. The parachute bloomed open, and they floated peacefully over the mountains and forests. Down, down they drifted until they landed gently in the very top of a tall pine tree filled with colourful silkworms spinning silk like living Christmas lights. Clive's eyes found the one he wanted, a fat, pale blue silkworm, fast asleep and snoring softly. Clive offered a packet of the finest ground coffee. The silkworm's eyes lit up. She quickly spun and handed over a beautiful sheet of sky blue silk. With many polite bows, the cats climbed down to the forest floor. They followed the sound of a babbling stream, plucked 2 wide, waxy leaves, and hopped aboard like tiny boats. The stream carried them gently through the peaceful woods, sunlight warming their fur, birds singing overhead. The leaves finally drifted ashore beside a temple built of smooth, round stones. Inside the Temple of Peace, it was wonderfully calm. A beautiful little owl appeared. Clive hooted politely, and soon a whole flock of tiny owls, no bigger than tennis balls, fluttered down. They measured Clive with tiny tape measures, cut the silk with sharp beaks, pulled shining silver thread from the ceiling, and stitched everything together right on the spot. They even made a perfect pair for Mr. Tibbles. When the last dream button was sewn on, the owls hooted happily and flew away. The new blue silk pajamas felt cool, soft, and magically comforting against their fur. A wave of sleepiness washed over both cats. "How will we get home?" yawned Mr. Tibbles. Clive smiled sleepily. "Later. First, a cat nap." They curled up together on the smooth temple floor, tails wrapped around their bodies, paws crossed, ears relaxed. The silk shimmered softly. With deep, contented breaths, they closed their eyes and drifted into the most peaceful sleep, dreaming of floating leaf boats, snowy mountains, twinkling stars, and gentle adventures. And somewhere high in his observatory, the Baron of Dreams smiled and watched over their happy dreams. The end. Perfect for reading aloud in about 9 to 10 minutes at a gentle storytelling pace. As evening descended on the cosy town, Clive and Mr. Tibbles slowly awoke from their peaceful nap. They stretched and yawned beneath the warm glow of the temple lights. "What a splendid adventure," Clive purred, brushing against Mr. Tibbles.
I agree, sir, though the journey made me even more grateful for our cozy home.
Then let's return, my dear Mr. Tibbles. There's no place like home to enjoy new pajamas fresh from adventure.
And so, with renewed spirits and stories in their hearts, the two friends began their journey back, knowing that the best adventures are those shared, and every night is a new journey awaiting dreams. May every dream bring soft silks and gentle smiles. Sleep tight,